friends. Welcome back to the Fruits of the Spirit series. I hope you guys had a great week. Today we're going to talk about the fruit of the Spirit, gentleness. But before we get started, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment at the end of the video. Thanks so much. So let's go ahead and get started right into gentleness. When we think of gentleness, most of us think, be gentle with a baby, right? Be gentle with a puppy or with really expensive glassware. Being gentle physically oftentimes reflects the value of the item that we're touching or that we're holding. When we operate in the fruit of the Spirit, gentleness, we not only place value on those around us and the tasks that we're undertaking, but we're also placing value on ourselves. And that is usually when we learn how to be gentle with ourselves. We talked about worth before on my channel, and we know that all have sinned and all fallen short of the glory of God, but God found us worthy because of his son Jesus. Jesus called us worthy because of who he is and not because of what we've done. Jesus called us worthy because of his sacrifice. If he didn't think that we were worthy to come, then he wouldn't have come. So gentleness is a fruit of the Spirit, and a characteristic requires the understanding that each person you come into contact with has value, that they are valuable, and each situation that God has placed you in is given to you by God. It has value. Gentleness is a desire to help others even when they have done something wrong or have hurt you. Gentleness is very similar to humility in that it requires us to understand that all of mankind is equal. We are all on an equal playing field when it comes to value. Matthew chapter 11 verse 29 says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest in your soul." Being gentle requires humility. What Jesus is saying here, when he says that he's lowly in heart, it means that he's humble. It means that he's gentle, that he's a gentle person. And what that means is to walk with a spirit of gentleness, with a gentle spirit, means the same thing. So you need humility, because when we're humble and we recognize that we're no better than anyone else, but we're also no worse than anyone else, true humility will come out. When we feel that humility, it is false humility to think I'm not worth anything, I have no value, I can't do it, I'm not good enough. That's false humility. True humility is saying, I know who I am in Jesus Christ. He has called me worthy, but I'm not going to put myself above him. I'm not going to put myself above others. Proverbs 15 verse 4 says, "A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit." And then Isaiah 40 says, 40 and 11, he says, "He will tend his flock like a shepherd. He will gather the lambs in his arms. He will carry them in his bosom and gently lead those that are with young." So both of these verses, talk about, so Proverbs 15 and 4, talking about how we use our tongue, that perverseness, which is the opposite, which means anything that's twisted. To be perverse means to be twisted. So anything that's not gentle is going to be twisted or warped. And false humility is one of those things. I'm not good enough. I will never be good enough. I'm not worthy. I have no value. That's perverseness. That's twistedness. And so true humility, which is what Jesus has, because we're talking about now Isaiah chapter 40, verse 11. It's prophesying about Jesus. So Jesus is not twisted. He is not perverse. He is gentle. Okay? So he will tend his flock, which is us, and he will gather the lambs in his arms. He will carry them in his bosom and gently lead those that are with young. And so Isaiah is prophesying a quality of Jesus, a gentleness, a shepherd-like a comforter characteristic that Jesus will have because he's going to be the Christ. If we're being Christians, then we're trying to be like Christ or Christ copies, then being gentle is a quality that we have to have. So if we have a twisted mindset or a perverse mindset, that's not falling in line with what Jesus has called us to do. When a shepherd leads his flock, he does not whip them or beat them. Usually it only takes some soft guidance, like a little nudge with a rod or a little gentle word to guide the sheep to safety or to where they can be fed. And the shepherd always tells them where to go. So wisdom is called gentle in the book of James, chapter 3, verse 17. But the wisdom from above is pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere. Throughout all the epistles, Paul calls the churches to walk in gentleness because that's what Jesus did. So if we have holy wisdom, if we have wisdom from the Lord, it is going to be a gentle wisdom. It's one of the characteristics of godly wisdom is that it's gentle. It's not going to be harsh. It's not going to be angry. It's going to be gentle. And so Paul calls us throughout all the epistles to walk in gentleness because that's what Jesus did. Jesus was always gentle. He always led people back to himself with gentleness. It was never with harshness or coarse words or with anger. It was always with gentleness. So gentleness has to be a characteristic of your Christian life. Gentleness as a fruit of the Spirit is something that we carry. It is a part of our attitude. It is a part of our everyday life. And gentleness comes from a place of humility where we realize that there is equal value on me and on others. And God created us all in his image for a purpose, for a reason, and for this season. So gentleness is really, again, just like goodness and just like faithfulness, it can be one of those that kind of gets passed over because it's so obvious to us, right? But it can be really difficult to grasp gentleness every day, right? Because we're supposed to be walking in the fruits every day. So next time is going to be our last week. Today's emoji to comment down below is the pear emoji. And so if you guys made it to the end of this video, please comment a pear. I would love to know who made it to the end. Thank you guys so much for supporting this series. I really appreciate it. I love you. Jesus loves you. Don't forget to dive deep into the word today. It's so very important. Love you guys. Bye.